Hello and welcome to episode 45 of Fallen Dragons. I'm your DM for the night, Mike, and our party's a couple members down tonight, but I'm here with three of our players to see how far they can get. um, so I will let them tell you who they are and what they do. And I'll start with Kenna.
Hi, I'm Robin. I play Kenna Hanvey. She's a tiefling and she is a multi-classed fighter and bard, and she really likes ale.
And right below her is Jinx.
Hi, I'm Will. I play Jinx, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Thank God you haven't done that yet.
No, thank God. Yeah, I'm a terrible singer. I picked a bard, and I have to sing.
And oh, over in the corner below me is Korai.
Hello, I play Korai, who is a cleric. No multi-class or nothing fancy. Just she's a cleric. She's a drow cleric. Sarcastic. Doesn't like healing people after supper.
Nobody likes healing people after supper.
Well, it happens a lot.
I'm
Or
sorry,
has happened.
and it's mostly my fault.
They just need to develop antacids in D&D. They haven't come up with. They haven't
Mhm.
come up. They haven't come up with Tums in D&D yet.
And we're currently making sure that the food that you're trying to eat is actually dead.
Well, yeah, that is a good start, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when we last left this little group, you had just checked into the finest the finest inn in Solaria, and had the best meal you've had in weeks, probably, and various ones of you had some pampering done. They even gave Kenna a bath while she was unconscious. Not really sure how that went yet, but
Just as long as they didn't drown me, I'm good.
Yeah.
but as it turns out, come the next morning, Nala's massage was a bit too much for her, and she doesn't wake up when the rest of you do. And LaFall went all in. Yeah, it's like pedicure, manicure, buff scales. It took like 2 hours just to do everything. And I think it over relaxed LaFall because they're not getting up either when the three of you hear knocks on your doors, and it's the basically the maid staff saying that your complimentary breakfast is ready down in the tavern section of the inn. So, what do you do?
I'm gonna stretch my wings, get up, and go down for breakfast.
So you head downstairs. What about Korai and Kenna?
Yeah, I guess breakfast sounds all right. So I'll head down that as well.
For the first time in what, a couple of days, you are actually sober when you wake up, and there's no hangover connected with it. And it's the first time you've had a bath since you can remember. So you're actually feeling better today than you normally do. But, and what about Korai?
All right. I'm up. I'm up. Oh, yeah. Screw you people and your wake up calls.
Well,
I said I'm up. Get up and go downstairs.
so the three of you actually meet in the hallway as you're heading downstairs to the tavern. And even at this early hour, the tavern section of the inn looks exactly like it did last night. The hostess is there. There's two bartenders. There's staff running around. The only difference is it's about half full customer wise compared to last night. So you guys just find a table, or you gonna eat breakfast at the bar, or what are you gonna do?
Guess we'll find a table.
Sounds good to me.
I'm gonna duck under the Jinx's wings with bleary eyes and just kind of shuffle over to a seat and sit down.
Rough night, eh?
Comparative height wise, is Korai shorter than Jinx?
Oh, I didn't think about that. He's like 4'2" or something.
Yeah, I'm 4'2". I'm
aren't the tallest to begin with.
No, I am a short back.
Okay, then I'm going to jump. Then I can jump over. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, because
she's not wake enough to jump over anything.
Yeah, you try to walk past Jinx, and one of Jinx's wings hit you in the chest as you're trying to get past him.
Can you do something with those?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll try to pull them back a little bit out of the way. I bring them to my sides.
The waitress sees the three of you and comes over with the menus. She's like, "How are the three of you this morning? How was your night with our staff and our food?" And
Oh, I always slept like a rock. I haven't slept like that in a few days.
glad. She says, "Glad to hear it."
Ask me when both of my eyes are open. are open. That's me again.
And she turns and looks at Kenna and goes, as I recall last night, when they brought you in, you were kind of horizontal.
Yeah, I don't really remember anything about that, honestly.
Glad to see you up and awake. What can I get you for breakfast?
I'll let the others order first, and I'll order next.
Yeah.
I'll just have my usual couple of eggs, 2 sides of bacon, and if you've got coffee.
Yeah, we have coffee.
All right, that'll do for me then.
Okay.
I'll have whatever the perky woman just said.
Perky. Okay.
I don't fully awake.
And so the waitress writes that you're making it easy for the waitress. She's like, well, 2 orders of that. Okay. And then she turns to Jinx and goes, and what would you like?
And then I open my eyes really quick and look over and go, nothing alive.
Oh, well, I was going to order the pill bug.
Maybe that
I'm
helped wake
nothing
me up.
alive. Can I get a roasted pill bug then?
Yeah. Oh,
I
I
said
can't even
roasted.
imagine that.
She
Hey, bugs!
I'm so sorry, Korai. My bat eats bugs. He's an insectivore.
She looks at you kind of funny for a second and writes it down and goes, would you like anything else with that?
No thanks. That'll be it. I'm so sorry. Is Korai okay? I heard him run.
I'll live, Betty. Be all right. Just
So the 2 of you want coffee. She turns back to Jinx and what would you like to drink with that, if anything?
I'll just take some juice.
Okay. I'll give you whatever we have in season at the moment. And she wandered off with your order to head back to the kitchen. So while food is being prepared, what do the 3 of you talk about?
Well, I guess I'll ask the others to kind of fill me in on, what's been going on and what we're doing, since I wasn't exactly present last night, apparently.
No. You spent another night tied down in the wagon. And then they were nice enough to bring you inside and give you your own room, even.
Well, I got in a fight with a wolf. Yeah, I managed to take it down.
I was around for that.
I don't remember that. Was that last time?
No, that was back a couple of episodes when you were at Half Cliff Swamp. She's wanting to know more about what happened to you guys last time because she was unconscious.
What
bit of a
did
blur.
happen to us last time? Well, we got a mission for an escort. I know that much. We're
No.
supposed to find some. We're supposed to take some bloody royalty up to some place and drop them off.
Well,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound too dangerous as far as missions go, I suppose.
You're actually supposed to bring them back here once you go find them.
Oh,
The details of the notice said that, well, you talked to the king of Gelborn, last time. That's how you got into this fancy inn you're in.
I think the queen invited us back to see to hear Jinx perform, didn't she?
God, I hope not. I haven't practiced yet.
Well, the queen did say that if you complete your mission successfully and find the emissary from Canamir and bring him back, there will be a state dinner.
Is that what
So,
it was?
so Jinx performing may actually be a possibility.
Well, we'd like to be welcome in Gelborn after that.
Yes.
So maybe practice a bit on the way.
Well, I'll do my best.
Do you even have your instrument still, or?
I have it somewhere. It was. I know I have a lute on me.
Okay.
Well, not lute, but a guitar.
For some reason, it was in my head that one of your instruments got destroyed somewhere along the way.
Did it? I can't remember. I don't think it broke yet.
Okay. So you guys made it up here, talked to the king and queen, and then they were nice enough to put you in the best inn in Solaria on their tab.
Awful nice of them.
If you would go and find this guy, because he was supposed to be here 3 months ago and never showed up. And Canamir's not that far away. It would definitely not take 3 months, for a week maybe, but not 3 months for this guy to show up.
And I'm assuming
So,
we got a description of him and name and everything.
yeah. Is Lord Colmori. And it's all in the notice that you guys took from the bar and signed and all that. Because basically you had to bring the notice to the Royal Guard and have it signed by the Royal Guard so you could get paid for the mission. And the Royal Guard was like, you need to talk to the king and queen. And that's how that all happened. And so this is now the next morning, and you're deciding what the three of you want to do, considering that two of your party strangely don't want to get out of bed this morning.
I had a little too much fun last night.
Must have. I mean, we could do some shopping. I'm sure there's some prep we can do before we get ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I need
can.
to head to the blacksmith. I'm down a weapon.
Yeah, you were saying that, and
Well, I got a very interesting letter from my parents last night, or well, not from my parents, but from the people who
oh,
arrested them.
oh yes. Are you gonna tell the rest of the group about this letter that found you last night?
I'll be honest, I don't remember the details. I just remember that they had been arrested and were being put on trial.
Well,
So,
the letter basically said they've been arrested, put on trial, and depending on outcome of trial, execution will be scheduled. Uh, which, if they can put that in the pre-trial notice, it's a pretty good bet that that's what they're scheduling.
Drow are known for their mercy.
If they're already talking execution, scheduling execution, your parents, this is going to be a pretty short trial, is what it sounds like to me.
Mm-hmm. So, there's that.
Yeah.
well, I mean, we could try to bust them out if you want.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, if you think they're innocent and you want to spare them, we can help you out somehow.
You've not hung out in the Underdark or any Drow city for that matter for very long, have you?
No, it was basically just a science experiment let loose, and then Bob's your uncle I got up here.
First off, how does Korai feel about his parents? Or her parents? Does she even want them to survive?
Well, so I've had to think about this since the last time you asked me. So she follows the moon goddess, which wouldn't be very popular. And if her family's a high enough rank, they would they may have just cut her off completely.
Well,
So
true. Give me a I actually need to find a D&D character sheet to look at. Is there a politics category on your sheet?
I don't have one.
Mm-mm.
Not politics specifically.
Okay. Give me a history roll then.
Holy hell. 4. Okay, what was that you were saying about bad dice?
Yeah. You're all gonna die.
Yeah, from a history check.
Yeah.
Great.
You failed the history test. We're all doomed.
Okay, this is what I'll do. Because this is the information your character actually needs.
I would say she still like cares about her parents, but has decided to move on with her life.
Well,
Like
what you know about, what you can vaguely remember about how drow politics work is this situation they're in is most likely because of you.
Oh,
when
that changes things a little bit.
when
Love
you
it,
went when you went off to follow the moon goddess, which is perfectly your choice, but when you did that, um, the people in court in the royal court started blaming your parents because how in the world could they have let you go on and do that?
Okay.
And probably there was a fair amount of work done on uh, coming up with some charges that they could charge your parents with so that they could be executed.
Yeah, it's a charming society.
Yeah. So, what does Korai want to do about it, if anything?
Well, she'd know that her companions or the people that are with her wouldn't they be looked on like ants basically or just bugs. Most I mean for to anyone in the same kind of societal circles.
Yeah.
Um,
You would, all three of you would definitely be categorized as intruders and most likely have to fight your way in and fight your way out.
well, if that was the case, then why send the letter?
Well, that was a formality for you because you're a family member and uh, the court didn't want to execute your parents without letting you know first. Uh,
Oh, that was very nice of them.
Yes, it was. To be fair, we've kind of had to fight our way out of quite a few places, so it really wouldn't be that different.
not, not really, no.
Although I don't think we're going to fight our way into the Underdark.
Especially with 3 people down, 2 people down.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you're talking about, then I don't think it's a good idea to take us to
No.
not unless there's some way of getting into it or getting through it without drawing the ire of half the city, which might not actually be possible.
Well, one of the things you could do while you're having this day of shopping and such, Gelborn has one of the uh, best libraries on the entire continent. If there's anywhere that you could find information, it would be there. Because Gelborn gets ships with beings from everywhere in Acheron, so they know their library has material on just about everything.
Well, wouldn't she have some idea of what drow culture's like?
Well,
Where I was thinking of
that's what I'm saying. You could go to the library and there's people you can ask, and she would know, but knowing how to get there from here, from where you are, isn't necessarily something she would know.
Okay. We could do that. It'd kind of be up to the others.
Well, and about this time in the middle of your conversation, the waitress comes with your plates of food. Well, actually, Korai, give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Gotta find it. It's not something I have to do very often. Just as oh geez, it's a stat.
Yeah.
19.
It pops into your head while you're eating that you could take the letter across the street to the king and queen and see if they would help you with that.
Hey, it just popped into my head that we could take this letter to the king and queen to see if they help.
Well,
What do you think?
that's brilliant. Let's do it.
The hardest thing may in fact be getting an audience with them, but if you can pull that off.
Well, especially considering they expect us to be out of here at some point.
Well, you are technically currently employed by them.
I don't know. What do you all think it's wise to sort of test the hospitality of our hosts?
Well, they may have at least an idea of something that would give you a hand. So, yeah, I think it's worth asking them at least if we can get hold of them.
Oh, and by the way, since you guys seem to be handling your money separately instead of group wise, the king gave you each 250 gold.
Ooh.
Okie
What he did was he gave you half the fee now, and then when you either bring this guy back or bring back information about what happened to him, you'll get the other half. So write that down if you haven't already.
All right. We each get 200 gold, you said?
250.
250 gold.
Yeah.
Well, since my manager is holding my money, he'll have the 250.
You have
manager was dead.
Yeah, but you're the new manager, remember?
What?
Oh,
When
no.
did that happen?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. The new manager
Patrick
is
was.
Patrick is, yeah.
Patrick was, and his character Van is wandering around Heston in a perpetual drunken stupor.
Oh,
Okay, so
Are you sure you want this man to handle your money?
not anymore. All right, so 200 gold. Got it.
In fact, how do you think he's been
Oh God, another manager has stolen my money.
continuing his perpetual drunken stupor? No.
It's
So
always the manager stealing me money.
it's between your money and him selling useless spell scrolls. That's how he's been making his money.
what do I feel like that week that I missed was really interesting?
Um, If Jinx will give me a history roll, I'll let you know how all that happened.
All right, history roll.
Yeah.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Well, this one's going to have to do. History roll. Here we go. That's just straight intel. 14.
Good enough.
No.
You basically tell them the story of, because one of the sober things that Patrick's that Patrick's character did early on was tell you what happened with the fight with the Cyclops that your original manager had.
Oh, no.
Turns out that your original manager owed a Cyclops a very large amount of money. And he tracked him down in a bar and they had a physical fight. And the Cyclops practically beat your manager to death. And Patrick's character was sitting at the bar watching all this. Not helping, by the way.
Like that you have to specify that.
And no, your original manager made it to the bar just long enough to ask Patrick's character if he wanted to be your manager because he was getting the hell out of here.
Yes, I remember that.
He was like, I'll have another band in a week. I don't need this guy anyway. So Patrick signed the paper and became your manager, and just slightly after that is when you guys found half of your original manager. But Patrick's character almost got himself killed that night because he kept making snide remarks and bad jokes at the Cyclops as the two of them got drunker and drunker. And Patrick was lucky the Cyclops didn't twist his head off by the end of the night. So the gist of all that is you don't have a manager right now. Or technically your manager is highly indisposed and he's not much use to you currently. He hasn't even booked you any gigs yet.
Of course.
Because he doesn't really remember where he is right now. So it looks like you're going to have to handle your own money from here on out.
Of course.
Yeah. So after you finish breakfast, do you guys want to go and see if you can get an audience with the king and queen?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Yeah, might as well.
Seems like the best option.
And they didn't even get to meet Kenna the first time because she wasn't awake yesterday. No. Um, you guys finish your breakfast. When Jinx asked them for roast pillbug, they put an odd sauce with it that would be very similar to our modern barbecue. So where they got it, you don't know. Could be from what it tastes like, could be a mixture of blood and sugar. Something's blood and something sweet. So, who
Probably some
knows?
sort of fruit.
Yeah. But it seemed nicely edible anyway. Are you guys gonna? Well, since you're on the King and Queen's tab, you basically have rooms here for as long as you need them until the king says otherwise. So, when you're done with your breakfast, you can all head across the street. Quite a busy day in Solaria today. It seemed like there's more people out and about. You walk over to the front door of the castle, and the two guards that you met yesterday are standing there. One of them is like, "Oh, you guys are back. Oh, was there something you needed?"
Is it? I don't suppose it's possible to. Oh my god! Sorry, someone else pick it up.
I wonder if we could have an audience with the king and queen.
The guard looks at you and goes, "Why would you need that?"
Oh, my mate here has a letter from his from some official, and he kind of needs a little bit of help.
As much as I'm sure my parents wish I was dead, I don't wish to see them dead. I was wondering if there's anything you might be able to help us with or can tell us about.
The guard is somewhat surprised at what you just said. It's like, and he, thinks about it for a second. And says, "Let me go in and see what they're doing, and if they're free, I will ask them if they will see you."
Thank you.
And he opens the door and disappears.
Well, this is either a brilliant idea or not.
Aye, it's an idea. That's all that matters.
Eh. He comes back out a couple of minutes later and says, they have a busy day planned, but they have a few minutes now, and we'll see you, but they don't have very long.
I think a few minutes is all we need.
Right. I don't think it would take too long to explain the situation to him. So sounds all right.
So the guard leads the three of you into the castle, past the familiar marble walls, and you come up to the large arched double doors, and he opens the door and lets the three of you walk through. And King Benton and Queen Celia are sitting there. They're not on their thrones, however. They are just sitting in quite opulent but normal looking chairs, having a discussion between the two of them. The guard announces the three of you, and the king and queen turn to face you. King Benton says, "Oh, it's my band of adventurers that I hired for the emissary problem. How did you guys get on at the end last night? Did you enjoy yourselves?"
Oh, well, no, it was a nice night, I think.
Seems like it. We did. Thank you for your hospitality.
No problem. When are you going to start on the mission I've hired you for?
As soon as our other two members wake up, I suppose.
Overdid it, did they?
It seems so.
That can happen over there. And the queen looks at him sort of sideways and like, where did that come from? And he smiled but otherwise ignores the comment and says, "How can I help you today?"
Well, I've received a letter from my family, essentially, rather than not my family, saying that they're going to be tried and essentially executed. Mostly, it sounds, I'm assuming, because of me and the choices I've made. The problem is I don't think that we can make it into that we can get into the Underdark without sparking a fight or being killed or attacked at least. We were kind of wondering or hoping you might have some ideas to something that we could do or method that we could use to get into the city without, dying.
At least initially, anyway. He says, I do know a way, but for it to happen, though, there will have to be a bargain struck between you and this. And he stops mid-sentence and points out the large bay window to the right of him that's looking out over the coast. And he says, if you look closely, you can see an island over there.
Okay.
On that island, there is a portal to the darker realms of existence, be it the Shadowfell or the Underdark, depending on which way you want to go. It is the home of a dragon family, however. They basically took over the island from the previous princess's family that owned it. The dragon is, well, shall we say, they're shadow dragons. And they guard the entrance to the lower realm that is on the island. He has been known to have guests. They have been known to help other adventurers if the other adventurers can make a deal with them and give them something they want.
So basically, go meet the dragons, find out what they want, and maybe make it into the Underdark without sparking a minor incident.
And who knows if a good enough deal is struck, you may even convince them to help you.
I mean,
But
that seems fairly reasonable, given what we've had to do before.
Well, it depends on what they want and if it's something we can procure for them, I suppose.
yeah.
Well, there's that little snag, yes.
I've not had any dealings with shadow dragons before, so I wouldn't know what sort of things they'd ask.
I never heard of the blokes. I mean, be interesting to meet one at least.
Above game, there's only one party member in your group that
That's what I was wondering.
ever has. And she met them many moons ago and is currently unconscious. And if you mention Shadow Dragon to her, she will run the other way.
Ooh. Write that information down for later.
but yeah.
Save that in your bushel basket.
So
Okay.
the last I heard, there was a rumor that there's a new baby shadow dragon over there. So they might be in a better mood.
It's worth a shot.
That would be the best suggestion that I can give you. And if you want to clear up this thing with your parents before you go on the mission that I've sent you on, that's fine. I would not really, no matter how you feel about them, having your parents executed would not be something I would want to see.
Yeah, typically.
Oh, and you could actually do me a favor if you would.
What's that?
If things go well with the shadow dragons, tell them I would like to meet with them. If we could get a treaty with them, it might be useful. Because they tend to scare ships away from Gelborn.
I can see how that'd be useful.
Yeah.
We will bring it up, assuming they don't eat us.
Right.
Oh well, who knows? I think I would taste awful, so they're definitely not going to be eating me.
I have only heard rumors of one person that they've ever eaten before. So, and
Well, that's good. I mean, as long as they're not eating others, and that's a good thing, right?
and she tended to piss them off right before the baby arrived, or
Yeah.
right after. So
I can see how that'd tend to ruin someone's day.
Yeah,
yeah.
that would definitely ruin my day for sure.
So yeah. So I think you're safe as far as that, as long as you don't upset them.
We'll try not to.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I mean,
if that's all you need, we have a busy day of things to attend to. So, but please let me know how it goes. And as I said before, when this is over, we will have a state dinner for you, and you will get the rest of your payment for the mission.
Thank you, Your Highness. Your hospitality is much appreciated.
Well, we like to keep the inhabitants of our city happy whenever we can. And with that, he motions for the guard to take you out of the room. And the queen, just before you go, says, "Good luck to you." That sounds like it could be messy.
Oh,
see.
we've been through messes before, right, lads?
Yes.
True enough, but we're talking dragons here, so.
Yeah, but we dealt with the dragon a few months, a little bit ago.
Well, Kenna's had a bit of experience with dragons.
Oh, I'm sure they're a lovely bunch. You just have to know how to schmooze them.
I mean, some of them are alright, but some of them aren't. So,
It's like they'll either help you or you'll be a snack, one of the two. So,
I prefer the first one.
well,
yes.
most people do. So you leave the inn and or the castle, and the two guards go back to their normal positions. And so, what do you guys want to do first?
Well, I think I'm going to head off to the blacksmith.
Okay. Do the two of you want to go with her, or do you want to go? Do you have your own places you want to go?
Well, I might go to my loot for a little bit. It might be a little out of tune. I haven't had time to tune it.
So, where are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go to do this?
Probably just, well, probably at the bar, maybe. Try to earn a little money, maybe. If you
Oh,
allow me to play.
so you're gonna practice on the patrons at the bar,
Oh yeah,
at the tavern, are you?
yeah. Definitely need to practice. And somebody's got practice in front of a group, right?
So, okay, you go off to do that. Kenna goes off to the blacksmith. What is Korai doing?
I go to the blacksmith with her.
Yeah. So, where do you guys decide to meet up after Kenna gets her axe taken care of and all that?
We'll just head back to the inn. Isn't that where Jinx is going to be practicing? We'll just head back
Yeah.
there then.
Follow the annoyed screams.
Who knows? You might
Maybe they'll like it.
see a bat fly without having to do it himself before it's all over.
I like that.
So,
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
so Jinx heads back across the street to the tavern, and Korai and Kenna actually, you want to ask one of the guards where the blacksmith is? Or are you going to wander around town aimlessly until you find it?
Well, it is a pretty large town, so we should probably ask.
Yeah.
Seems like that'd be useful, yes.
So Kenna, give me a perception check.
A dirty 20.
Okay. The two of you walk up to the guard, and he's like, yeah, what can I help you with now?
Can you point us in the direction of your blacksmith, please?
Okay, yeah. And says, You go up the main street to the first left. Take the first left and go up 3 blocks. And you'll see the blacksmith right before you get to the open air market.
Thank you.
And if you get lost, follow the plume of smoke in the air. You'll find it.
All right, thanks.
So, the two of you wander off. Jinx gets back to the tavern. So, how do you approach finding out if you can play or not?
First, I'm going to walk over to the bartender and be like, hey, all I need to do a little practicing. You kind of look like a bar that needs a bit more action. I mean, more action, but I mean, a little more people coming in. So I'm wondering, is it okay if I play a little bit?
The two bartenders look at each other
I got me on new.
and they're like, well, it's in between breakfast, lunch, and lunch rush. What can it hurt? And oh, by the way, we'll put a cup out for tips, but that's the only money you're getting out of this.
Oh, that's fine. I wasn't going to ask for tips. We'll just need a little practice. That's all.
Okay. So you tune your strings and actually give me an intelligence roll to see if you can remember how to do this.
All right.
Jeez.
Let's see what we got. 7.
Oh my Daddy, come on!
It's not me, it's the dice. I picked the wrong one.
Now, was that your dice roll or does that include any intelligence
Let me
bonus
double
you've
check.
got?
Let's see. What was the? It was intelligence, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just straight intel.
Okay. You're sitting there or standing there with your lute, fussing with the strings, trying to remember how to tune this thing. Because you haven't done it in a long time.
Let's see. Is it lefty loosey right tighty or tighty righty lefty loosey?
Both. It's not like it matters. It'll sound the same anyway.
So,
Someone tells me you have little faith in me.
luckily the two of them aren't there, Korai. But after a while, you manage to figure it out. It takes a whole lot longer than you thought it would, though.
Right, yeah. Oh, no, I'm right. Right, that's right. Here we go.
And what sort of stuff do you start playing?
I'm going to start with a little. I think I'm going to sing. I'm going to start out with House of the Rising Sun, I believe, and move on from there.
Okay.
And
There is actually an instrumental version that was done in '66
Oh, I didn't know that.
that Jimi Hendrix did.
Oh, no
And
idea about that one.
that would be, if you're going to play that song, it would be perfect for that. But no words, just instrumental. So you don't have to worry about remembering the words to sing. Yeah.
All right.
And it would,
I start playing the instrumental version of that, and I have to roll performance, right?
yep. And
All right.
it would go along with your heavy metal bard theory.
Okay. So yeah, I admit before I said I'm rolling for performance, I already rolled. I got a 13.
Uh,
But if you want, I can roll it again.
no, that's fine. The people in the tavern.
Oh, 13 plus 3. Oh, that's a 16.
Oh, you didn't add your bonus.
No, I didn't add the bonus. I just went straight 13.
The people in the tavern initially look very funny at you. It's like, what in the world is this stuff? But eventually, they start to smile.
Whatever.
And
Well, I smile back as I play.
one or two of the people get up and drop coins in your cup.
Oh, like you kindly.
And for the first time in your life that you can remember, a performance actually goes well.
Oh,
Oh, that makes me so happy.
And the two bartenders are they look at each other, and then they both look at you with this confused look on their face, like, where did this come from? And um,
I am as just surprised as they are, if not more. I was expecting a 1 on that performance check.
so was I. I was expecting them to throw vegetables and stuff and toss you out the front door.
oh my goodness.
And you actually, after your song is over, you check your tip jar or tip cup,
All right.
and there's actually 10 copper coins in your
Ooh,
tip cup.
all right. Not bad. Not bad at all. I give a little bow after I'm done and be like, remember to tip your bartenders and have a nice night, ladies and gents. And everything in between.
Yeah, the bartenders look at you, and it's not even lunch yet. It's like, so that what are you after that? Are you just sort of hanging around, waiting for lunch and waiting for the two of them to
Yeah,
get back?
I'm just going to sit back and wait for him.
Yeah. The two of you finally get to the blacksmith.
Jeez.
I'm really sorry. This is just about as much as I've got.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
I was doing fine when we were in the middle of that, and then just as soon as we stopped, it just oh,
To,
I'm so sorry.
Take your time. I mean, if you're not feeling
uh,
well, you're not feeling well, buddy. Go get some rest.
do, do you actually think it's lack of sleep, or do you think you're coming down with something?
It's been a week.
Uh,
I don't know.
wow.
Maybe my kids give me something, which is
Well,
not by far the first time that would have happened.
Yeah, I
No,
guess
I mean,
how
we.
believable.
Especially now that
how
they're back to school.
how
Mm-hmm,
old are your kids?
12, 10, and 7 little
Yep,
girls.
mm,
they're little germ factories and
Hmm.
such. Yeah,
They went back
I've
yeah.
to school for about a week. I went to
I've
school.
raised two of my own. I know how that goes. Um,
Uh, well, I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
actually, what we'll do this this is a good time to take a break.
Mhm.
Anyway,
And I probably got another hour in me, or I might fall asleep soon myself. But I'll stay up as long as I can. Wake me up if I start snoring again.
well, uh, we can after the break we can go a little bit longer, and you just let me know when you're done.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
And Korai, I hope you feel better. I hope it's
Yeah, I feel better.
Me too.
Get some rest, bud.
All right. Thank you
and
so much. I had fun tonight.
Aw.
well
It's always a blast to have you in the game.
we'll get into your you meeting the dragons next time. So
Maybe we'll have our own dragon with us. We can scare her.
ah,
Okay. Thank you all so much for understanding. Have a good night.
No, you're very
oh
welcome.
sure.
Sleep
Good
well.
night.
We'll
You too.
see you next time.
Thanks.
And we're gonna take our 20-minute break right here. And we'll be back in roughly the top of the hour. So
Okay.
we'll see you in a little bit.
Yep.
Hello and welcome back to episode 45 of Fallen Dragons. As you can see, we've lost a couple of our players on break. They're in more Eastern time zones, so it's later for them and they got tired. But at least for a little bit, we're going to continue so that Kenna can get her new battle axe that she wanted. So, um, Kenna and Korai get to the um, blacksmith, and Korai's like, you know what? You can handle this. I'm gonna head back to the inn and see what Jinx is up to. See if either one of our other two party members are awake as of yet, because it's approaching lunchtime and they're still not awake. So, um, so he go. Uh, she heads off to back to the inn. So, are you gonna knock on the door of the blacksmith
Yeah.
or what? You knock on the door, and a couple of minutes later, this female ogre that must be close to 7 feet tall answers the door. Says, "Yes, I'm Hilda. How can I help you?"
I was hoping to pick up a great axe. I sort of lost mine in Half-Cliff Swamp back in the open lands.
She invites you in and says, "Yeah, that'll do it. You're not getting it back out of there."
No.
What in the world were you doing out there?
We were sent there to find a ingredient for a antidote for something, and we did find it. But ran into a couple of swamp zombies and lost my axe battling them.
Yeah, she said, "I'm an ogre and I won't even hang out there." uh, hmm. Well, I have a great axe already done, but I think it's too big and heavy for you.
Uh,
Um, she does something surprising. She actually grabs you around the waist and picks you up off the floor.
what
So
was that for then?
she's like, "Okay, now I know how heavy you are." Uh, she holds out a hand and goes, "Push against my hand really hard. I want to see how much muscle you've got."
Right, so I'll do that.
She's like, "Okay, now I know what size great axe to make for you so you can actually pick it up and swing it properly."
Well, that would be helpful, yes.
Yeah. Um, and she goes around, she searches around the blacksmith shop for the right size pole, the right size handle, and a chunk of steel that she can work down to the head. This, this won't take very long. And within um, 2 hours, she's got a brand new uh, great axe made and hands it to you. Careful, the blade's still a little hot, but at least you can feel what it feels like.
Right, well, thank you. How much do I owe you for that?
Mm, let me. She actually goes over to what looks like a desk and she writes down on a piece of parchment and where to go? Uh, hmm. That'll be 30 gold, please.
Right, so I'll give her that.
And if I might suggest, there's a magic shop around the corner and down the street. You might consider having this enchanted. It,
Well, what will that do for it then?
it'll cost you some money, but it'll turn it into a magical weapon.
Well, I mean, will that do more damage? Will it?
It'll do, depending on how much you want to spend and how strong you want the enchantment. It'll, help damage. It'll make it easier to hit with it.
Oh, that might not be a bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the suggestion.
She says, if I do say so myself, it's a nice axe, so you might want to keep a hold of it.
Yes. No, I don't want to lose this in the swamp, especially if I have it enchanted.
Yeah. I wouldn't advise you to take another vacation in Half Cliff Swamp if I were you.
Yes, I wouldn't advise that either myself.
So, well, good to meet you.
You too, and thank you.
No problem. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
And she goes back to the project she was working on when you came in.
So I guess before I head back to the inn, I'll go to the magic shop and see what they can do.
How much current gold do you have on you?
Well, I had 200 gold to begin with that I was carrying, and that plus the 250 was made 450. So I just spent 30. So I currently have 420 on me.
Okay. So you basically walk down to the address she gave you. And it's mainly a large glass window takes up most of the front of the shop. And in this glass window are all manner of strange looking, magical looking things. Some look fairly normal. Some look like animal parts. Some look like things you wouldn't want to meet on in a dark alley. Yeah. And so, and the sign above it says, um, Lord Carlton's magic shop. Do you walk in the door?
Yes, I'll go in.
So, there's um 6, 7 other people in there. There's rather odd sounding pipe music playing. It would be a flute, but it's a little deeper than that. And in the back of the store, behind the counter, is an elf in black and purple robes with a white mustache and white pointed beard. And he's basically chatting to a halfling that sort of propped himself up on the counter because it's too high for if he was standing on the floor. He'd reach to about just below the top of the counter. So he sort of propped himself up on the counter. And there's all manner of things in here. There's barely enough room for the people who are in here. The place has a little bit of everything. So what do you do?
I guess I'll go up to the counter.
Ooh. The elf sees you coming and pauses his conversation with the halfling and says, "Hello, how can I help you? I'm Lord Carlton."
Well, I've got a new great axe. I was sort of hoping you could enchant for me.
He says, "Can I see it?"
I lay it down on the counter.
The halfling has to move out of the way. The blade's still warm on this.
Yes, it was just made, like, not long ago.
Oh, the blacksmith down the street made this.
Yes, and she's the one that sent me over, suggested that I have some spells put on it.
How nice of her. I'll have to have a chat with her. We haven't spoken in a bit. Well, what sort of enchantments would you like to have? And almost as important, what's your budget for this little project?
Well, I've got 4 and 20 gold on me at the moment, but I've got quite a lot in savings. Little matter of having survived coming back from the open lands some time ago. It paid quite well.
Ah. Okay. So money isn't really an issue then.
No,
So what would you like done to this?
well, if you've got something that would make it very effective, that would be nice. If I could, do if I'm in a battle situation, I'd like to be able to do as much damage as possible.
Well, he thinks about it for a second. I can give you a enchantment that'll turn this axe into a +3 magical great axe if you like. And that adds 3 to your attack roll and 3 to
Oh, okay.
damage.
On
So,
top of what it already is?
yeah.
Okay, that would make it a plus 10. That would be
Well, yeah, technically.
yes, that would be. I think that would suffice quite well, actually.
Now, a +3 incantation is going to be a bit expensive, though. Um, it's going to be 300 gold for that.
All right. Well, I've got that much on me now, so I can pay for that. And before we go off and do anything with my group, I'll stop by the bank and do a withdrawal so I can have a bit more on me. But yes, I can pay for that right now easily.
And it should only take me a day or two.
All right.
So, when you guys decide to head out after you make your withdrawal, come by and see if it's done yet.
All right.
If it's gonna be a day or two before you guys do anything or go anywhere, I should be able to have it done. So I don't know what your group's time schedule is, but I should have it done.
All right. Well, thank you. If I give you the money now, you'll write me a receipt or something.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And you hand him the gold, and you see a small piece of parchment float over the counter, and then you see a quill pen by itself write out this receipt saying receive 300 gold for +3 enchantment due 48 hours. And the parchment drops on the desk and drops on the counter, and the pen drops next to it. He picks it up and hands it to you, and it's like, there you go.
Well, thank you, and I'll be back in a couple of days' time to check on that then.
Yeah, should be done by then.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Good doing business with you. Look forward to seeing you in a couple days. In fact, if your party members need anything between now and when you guys take off, send them down here too.
I will let them know.
With that, you walk out the door and you look back through the window and you see the elf go back to talking to the halfling on the counter, and you walk back down the street and head back to the inn. And you go into the tavern and you find Korai and Jinx sitting there, and Korai is actually stunned because Jinx is telling him this story about how he just, started practicing playing his lute, and actually played well enough that people not only didn't throw him out of the tavern, but they actually gave him 10 copper in tips. And it's the first time he's ever played anything. So Korai is absolutely stunned. Yeah. Jinx is exceedingly happy, and Korai's like, how in the world did that happen?
Right? Like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. And oddly enough, your other two party members never got up. They're still passed out in their rooms. Those massages must have been really good last night.
Right? Either that or their something went wrong and they ended up getting paralyzed.
Yeah. The the two the two people massaged them accidentally snapped a vertebrae and killed them both.
Right?
Don't think there's ever been a case of death by massage. But um, we'll go ahead and end it with the three of you sitting down for lunch as the lunch rush starts, and you show the two of them your brand new, nice, shiny axe you just had. Uh,
Oh, well, it's at the shop.
oh yeah, it's, you tell them that you have to go pick it up in 48 hours because you've got a maid working on it to turn it into a magic weapon. And so that's where we'll leave game for tonight. Uh, I hope you had fun.
I did.
The other two did, but Jinx was really tired, and Korai is. His kids probably got him sick, guys. But he wasn't feeling very well from the beginning, so. Um, and hopefully next time we'll fall and Nyla will be back because you guys have to go find this dude.
Mhm.
You've been paid for it already. Partially anyway. So I should have this up within a day or two. Uh, people who see it, follow the channel, like and subscribe. If you're more into podcasts, go to Anchor or Spotify because all of our podcasts are on there. Then I'll have it up on podcast roughly about the same time that it goes up on YouTube. Uh, our podcasts are also on iHeart if you like to listen to iHeart for your podcast. Go buy all of Robin's books. The links are in the description. We'll be here for Vampire next week, which Robin's still in a bit of a problem from last time on that.
Yeah, chances that I'll survive that game are not looking very good, but yeah.
And as I was saying to him on break, Halloween is not that far away, as you can tell with all the candy in the stores. which means there's another Cthulhu coming for Halloween, which means another one of Robin's characters is going to be in major trouble.
Yeah.
So, uh, but I've still got a month or so to figure that one out, but it's coming. Oh, join our Discord. There's always somebody on there, either Echo or Mel or Jinx or Nala or Korai are usually on there. Leave comments in the description because I'm always on YouTube. So, because we'd like to know how you feel about our podcast and videos and like to get to know you a little bit. So, but I think that's all I've got for now. So,
See you next time.
we'll say goodnight for now. Like I said, join us for Vampire next week. See if anybody survives that next
Right.
week. So, but have a good night.
Night.